Now let me begin by saying this was going to be a private video just among friends that are using the MXT, but if you can learn anything from it, well, so much the better. Now, due to Connie and I metal detecting for 40 plus years, we've got a wide assortment of gold objects that we've found over the past to test with. And as you see up in the right hand corner of the screen, recently we detected a drive-in theater, and it's the worst of all worlds because it is just littered with objects, and trying to put something under the coil, you've got all these others to contend with. And we were wondering, now we really scored well on coins. All right, George, you already know this, but I'm gonna show everyone out there in Tron land how we can set it up just to find silver, and how you can do so well at a, someplace that's supposedly hunted out. Now this is power to the coil, and we can set that any way we want. I generally had it kicked back a little bit. Normally, they're going to tell you when you get your MXT to put it right here to discriminate where it'll accept a nickel. But if you turn it all the way to max, then it's only going to find silver. It'll find good copper coins. It will not pick up zinc pennies. It will not pick up nickel, and it will not pick up gold. Strictly silver. So let's test that out. Zinc penny, totally silent. Silver, dime, silver quarter, 50-cent piece, dollar. Nickel, silent. Pull tab, silent. And that's how you can pull out, people tell you, oh, this place is hunted out. Well, you can pull out a tremendous amount of good money just by putting it in that mode and come back. If you want to go for gold, try those other methods later. Now, we were assured by the property owner of the drive-in theater that it was hammered regularly and we wouldn't find anything. Well, the first time out, Connie and I came up with $40 and change, and the Bortnick's 20. Now that's, they only had one MXT at this time, and that was a real feat. And the next time, covering the exact same ground, we came up with 20 and they 10, I think the number was. Where on this screen, it falls.
Right.
If it's right here up above 5, it probably is a nickel. If it's coming up in this range, most likely it's not. Most likely it's not. And if your bar jumps real high, it's confident of what it's telling you.
That's what I've been looking at a lot. And what I found was the hot spot on this coil. I've been trying to not use a pinpointer, but the hot spot is right about there.
I know, it's right down the center.
Right on the crotch of that thing.
This is showing dime or penny.
Let's see.
There it is.
Now you've overlapped.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Now I'll turn and I'll go back. Then I'll overlap that. Just did.
This is a unit White's repaired for us, and unbeknownst to them, we got it back. They sent us a new coil with it. So we're trying it out.
57 to 62, that'd be a
Penny?
zinc.
Zinc. All right, now we're going to detect a pull tab, a nickel, and a large man's ring in the coin and jewelry mode. 22 5-cent ring, 20 5-cent ring, 50 screw cap. Now, I'm going to flip this into the relic mode and we're going to do the same thing. 20 button, 20 button, 50 bullet. But if you're looking for 14 karat rings, you can snake them out because they're a much higher number. It's going to be 45 plus. Now let's look at a small ring. Now we've exchanged the large rings with the small ring that Connie found just the other day. And we're going to go over the pull tab, the nickel, and the small ring in the relic mode. A much lower number, which is telling me you can snake out the fine gold, high dollar rings, and you can snake out the small rings. The mid-size stuff, you're just in trouble. You're going to have to dig everything to get that. But the high end and the low small rings, you can reliably dig out. Now I mentioned power to the coil, and a lot of detectors you can't really control that. The MXT is superb in that manner because we can really find tiny objects. We're going to simulate. This is my little gold nugget, that little thingy there. And most people would tell you to find gold that small, you're going to need a Fisher Gold Bug 2 or something that, White's GMT, something in the 60 plus kilohertz range. Well, let's try it with the MXT. And I'm going to turn it on so that you can hear it. I'm going to put this in prospecting mode, and I'm going to overboost the coil. Now, on most other metal detectors, you have no way to do this till it chatters, and just bring it back a little bit. I've got my sat all the way off. Turn my threshold up to a hum, and we'll see if it gets it. All right, you can just barely see that little target on the ground. See that? Picks it right up. So if you're on top of a tailings pile or something like that out west, this is excellent. If you are in an old west town or something like that where the number of silver coins to gold coins is like 10,000 to 1, you could put it in that mode all the way up, your discrimination, into silver mode, and pull out all those coins. So this is a very powerful detector, no doubt. Now, I'm pretty familiar with drive-ins. This was the medium of our youth. And what you do is you drive up to the pole, and they have the speaker thingy on the pole. And since in the US, we drive on the left-hand side, this is where the driver goes, right up here. And it's going to reach out the window and grab that pole. This is your opportunity for a ring right here. And you have to be on the right side of the pole to get it. So and the car itself is going to be back down on this side of the hill. And anybody getting out, their change is usually on this back side, unless they take blankets and put it on the front and just crank the volume up on the speaker thing where they can all hear it. So, but a ring is usually going to be right at the base of the pole.